Okay guys, welcome back to another episode of our platformer game. Today we are going to be carrying on working on our tiles. So in the previous episode we started setting up the rules for our tiles, giving them conditions where some of them are not allowed to be on certain sides of others, and some of them are not allowed to be on top of the others. And today's video we're going to carry on with that, and we need to go and now try and get the to be correct. So in the previous video we set them up, well at least I thought we set them up, but clearly they don't work. So today we are going to go back and try and correct them, and also move them up and down so that they are in the correct order in terms of hierarchy, because that actually also makes a difference. So let's jump into the game and start. So I've been playing around with it a little bit to see how it works. So what we have to do here is I have made our blank black background tile, which is just this one here. It's just a blank background. I've made that one the default one by dragging it into our default sprite at the top here. And now after that, once you've done that, if you haven't got to the point where we are, what you have to do is wherever you created your tile rule tile, all you have to do is drag that tile into your actual tile palette, and then you should be able to use them. So I've done it a few times, as you can see. I don't know why. But once you've done that, you should then be able to create. So what we can drag all of these in here. Can we paint them on? So if we paint some tiles over here, you can see that it changes a little bit, and that has to do with all of the rules of the way we set it up. So as you can see, that is incorrect. That's not how we want it. So in today's episode, we're going to go and attempt to fix that as much as we can. So I don't have a lot of time to make this video, so it's going to be probably around 20 minutes maybe, and then we'll have to carry on if we haven't finished it in tomorrow's episode or the next episode. So now that we've got that, we can start trying to make this work. So the idea is to, once we paint it on a map for our player, it needs to automatically figure out which tile to place where. So as you can see, it's not working. At the top here, it should be placing this tile over here, whereas at the bottom, say all of these should be the black ones. So we need to go and fix that. So let's have a look and see here. So our top one here can obviously have tiles at the bottom, so we can leave all of those green. Let's go and make them, we won't allow anything at the top just yet because we don't want anything, well, and actually that's true, we don't want any tiles on top of it. I'm not sure about the sides, but we'll go and fix that just now. Okay, so the one on the side, which is this one here, should only be seen in this square over here, and well, yeah, just this square over here. So what we need to do to fix that, I believe we need to go and disable these. So we can put a green tick there. We don't really want anything underneath it. Actually, we could have something underneath it. We could have something to the right hand side of it. And then actually this is not working. I just did it like a few seconds ago. So let's see. Maybe it's the order of it that's not working. Okay, so we want that to be there. We want those like that, I believe. And then for this one, let's see. Where do we want this one? We want this one to not be on the left. So we don't want anything on the left there. That's actually, no, we do want something. We don't want anything on the right like that. We can allow something on the left. We can have tiles at the bottom, and then this one here, we don't want anything on the right. We can have something on the, I mean, we don't want anything on the left. We can have something on the right. We also don't want anything in these corners because they're going to act like semi stairs kind of things. So that's fine, and then we'll leave that like that for now. And then the next one, which is this one is going to be the opposite. So we should have 3 ticks at the top, and then this one should only allow something on the left, and then that's fine. And then obviously this one is going to be allowed everywhere except for at the bottom. No, we want it everywhere because we want it to be surrounded by everything. So for example, if this tile over here, where's it gone? If this tile over here needs to be black, obviously the ones around it, because there's nothing there, it needs to make it look like it's in the ground, it needs to be completely black. Okay, so that's fine. Now the spikes are only going to be allowed on the side. That's fine. Yeah. And then where is it? This one. I believe this one needs to come up a bit because it needs to be up higher in the hierarchy so that it actually gets seen. So this one needs to be the opposite of this one. So let's go and take that off there. So this one is not going to allow anything on the left of it. And the same thing for the other one. It's not going to allow anything on the right of it because it's just the opposite. Okay, so the problem with this is you have to like kind of play around with it to see which square or which tile needs to go where. So let's have a look and see. Now we need this one to be up here. I believe we have another one that's the same, so that one can go up there as well. Now let's see, this square, this tile, it needs to have nothing on top of it. We won't allow anything at the very top like that because we're going to want... Actually, that's not true because we're going to have one of these next to it. Let me just go and paint something on here and see if that works. Nope. Let's do that and see. Okay, so you see that tile there is correct and that tile there is correct. Now let's do that and see if that works. That also works. Okay, so that's fine. Now we need to get one over here. This one needs to work, and that one there needs to be, or at least this one. Yeah, this one do we have that tile? This one needs to be this. Yeah, so this one. So if let's drag this one up, there we go. So that works a little bit now. Is it in the right place? So that one needs to be above these ones, and let's bring this one up as well to the same place, just underneath it. So that should be fine. Yeah, that's fine like that. We're getting there. Now this one should fill up this position over there. Something like that. You can see, so you can kind of understand what I'm trying to do, but the problem is it's not quite working as well as I thought it would be, and that's mainly because we haven't really got these in the right order. So we just kind of have to go through them and kind of figure out which one needs to go where in the hierarchy, because depending on the order they are in, it changes if they've been shown or not. So we need to go and figure out why this one over here is not changing. So this one, I believe, needs to be, it should be this one over here. So let's see. This one here needs to be one of these ones. So let's go and do that and see if that makes a difference. No, that doesn't make a difference. Let's try that. Okay, so that, I mean, it's better than it not been working. So we need to bring our default one up all the way to the top. So I think that should fix it. Okay, so that's better. Now we're getting there. Now this one over here, the one that's going down, shouldn't have anything below it. Actually, no, that one over there, this tile over here it needs to be this one. So let's bring in another tile. So let's create 12 here, and then we can bring in another tile. So let's drag in this one into there, and then we'll drag in this one into here. And now we need to give some conditions for this one. So this one over here needs to be, it can't have anything in that square. So that one there is going to be this one. It should have something in that square. It could have something in there. It could have something. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the blank square in this graph means that it could, or it couldn't have something in that square, because that wouldn't make sense. Now we'll change that like that, and then that should be fine. Now let's do the same thing for this one, but we'll make it the opposite. So that one needs to be green. These ones all need to be turned off. like that. So now if we drag this up, say to about there, that works nicely. Now let's drag the other one just below it, somewhere over here. We should see the other side updating. Okay, so that's working nicely now. That worked a lot better than I thought it was going to do. So let's just move our player out of the way for now. Okay, so you can see that our tile map has now been built relatively well, and this is all done automatically. So theoretically, if I go and try and build something else, say for example something like that, it still is not joining. Okay, so let's see this one over here. This one, okay, so maybe we need to get rid of that one. Get rid of that, and then like that. So those ones only have to have tiles on each side of them. So that's fine. Now, which one is this? This one. Let's see. These ones are all wrong. This shouldn't be here. So let's see. That one is because, well, for starters, they shouldn't really have anything above them. So that's fine. Okay, so that fixes it. That's fine. Now, the problem is it's not really working on the end. But let's see if we, okay, so that's fine. Okay, so you can see how nicely it's actually building out a level for us. So that's perfect. We're getting somewhere. So that we can fill all of this in, and then it builds out a level automatically. Now the problem is, even though this is quite simple to do, once you've figured it out like this, we can now go ahead and build a big enough level for our game to have a fully functional test level. The only problem with this is we have these spikes here. Now, how do we use those spikes? That's the question. Because say, for example, if I want to put some spikes in here, what do I have to do in order for those spikes to appear there? So now, let's see, they should have... Because let's see, let's go to our spikes here and say for example, we don't want anything on top of them anywhere, because actually we could have something on either side. We just don't want anything. Say for example, we only want this square to be a spike. We could have something in there, and we could also have something in there. But we don't want these to do that. Maybe I'm missing something. If you guys know how we could use one of these spikes, then please do tell me, or leave a comment down below, because although how good this is to actually build big enough levels in a small space of time, it doesn't really make much sense. So we've done all of that. We've got all of our rules sorted for now. Bearing in mind that is only a fraction of the tiles. So I think here we've only got 12 tiles at the moment, whereas in our tile set we have multiple tiles. So I don't even know how many that is, but we've got many tiles. So we could add conditions for all of these, but for now we're just gonna stay with this, and I'll do some research into how to figure out how to use all of those separate tiles. So let's go and try and build out a separate level, or let's just carry on with this level. So let's say, for example, we want to go up like that. I think there's an error over there. So this one doesn't need to have anything in there, and that one can, or just depending. Okay, so that's better. That's fine. So that's what I wanted. So it doesn't really have to have anything in there, although it always will, because we're not going to have just a blank spot where we are not going to have any, nothing. So let's just test something. Let's go to our player, and I can't even remember if we've actually given our player some control here. So let's start this game and see what is actually happening. So where is our player? Where's our player? Okay, so our player is going off off of the screen. So let's see, where's our player? Here is, let's close all of this. So let's close that tab. We'll close that tab and let's work on our player now. Now that we've got some kind of level, let's start working on the movement of a player. So we'll move this over here. So our camera is going to want to start over here somewhere. We don't really need this background, so I'm just going to delete this for now. Just because we will eventually make the background follow along with the camera so that we don't have to place the background like throughout the what's it called, the scene. Also, this I believe is incorrect. We don't really want that over there, but we'll fix that later on in the game. That's not that important for now. So let's go to our player and try and get our player to start moving. So let's open up our player script and see what's happening here. Maybe it's our grid. We haven't added a collider on it. Let's go and add a collider. I can't remember if it's our collider or our grid that we have to. I think it's our tile map that we have to add a collider onto. I can't remember which one it is. Let's see. Mesh collider. No. Collider. Polygon collider. Which one is our player got? Because I believe it's the same one. Polygon collider 2D. It should be the same one, but clearly not. So let's just drag this up here, and then that's our script. So let's see, jump, move. So we have implemented our movement script. So now we just need to figure out how to get a collider onto this tile map. So let's see, add component. What is it? Polygon collider. We just need to edit it. So I mean, that's kind of impossible. We shouldn't be able to do that. Let's try and add it onto our grid and see if that makes a difference. Nope. Where is it? Tile map. I have done this before where it adds a tile map, not a tile map, a collider onto each individual tile automatically. But I believe it might actually have something to do with the automatic tiling and the rules. Let's try that again. Let's see, what else can we use? We can use 2D. We've done capsule box collider 2D. No, because we don't want it though. We want it to match the actual, like the stairs and everything. Mesh collider, no. Edge collider, edit. Nah, because we don't want to sit here and have to do all of this manually. What is it? It is going to be a polygon collider. Nope, we've tried that already. Tile map collider. There we go. I mean, it's in the name. Why don't I see that? Okay, so here's our collider. Now, when we play the game, we should be able to interact with the. There we go. So now you can see we can move our character. We can jump, although our jump is not very. It's not very good. So let's change our jump quickly. Jump force. We'll change that to about. Let's change it to 10 and see what that works. And then let's see. So our character actually looks quite big. So let's see, if we jump here, I mean, we need to change like the gravity and try and work with it to see how we can simulate like the true like Earth-like gravity for now. So let's go and play around with this quickly. Okay, so the mass will make about 2. And then for gravity, let's go and actually, let's try that. So I don't like the way it like kind of like floats. So we need to increase that, or let's increase the gravity scale to about 2, and then we'll make the mass about 1 and see. Let's try mass 2 and 2 maybe. I mean, that's better. It still kind of floats a little bit. So let's see, mass about 2.5 maybe. I don't like that. Let's try about 4 and see. No. Let's keep gravity at 1, and then let's just make our mass about 10. I believe that's gonna. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, so clearly I'll change our mass. Let's just try and see auto mass. Let's see what that looks like. No, I don't like that. So clearly we need to change our gravity. Let's change our gravity to about 3 and see if that works. That's better. Let's change it to about 2.5 maybe. So that's better, but it still looks, I mean, we don't have to focus on the movement for now, but that's a little bit better. Let's change that to about 2.7. Nah, let's go 2.5. We'll leave it like that. And then for our player, let's see what's our size. Okay, so first of all, let's remember this. So we want auto mass and 2.5 as our gravity. Okay, so let's go and change that 2.5 and then auto mass. Okay, so that's fine. And then let's just test that out again and see if that works. Because sometimes when you change things and you go back and change them back, they don't really work. Okay, so that's fine. All right, that's very nice. So now we've got, I mean, this is not going to be our final movement for the game, but it's a start. We'll probably make it like an entire video just to focus on the actual movement of the character when we have got other things sorted out. So for now, that's fine for like testing purposes. So we can use that movement to test the levels. But as you can see in this episode, we don't have movement with the camera, so we can only go so far. So for us to go even further, we will have to use our scene view. So maybe in the next episode, we'll put some code on the camera, on our camera, like add a script to it so that we can actually move along with it. And then we can start other things like adding in backgrounds and all of that. But I think for now, that's going to be it. So thanks for watching. We'll continue in the next episode, probably with the camera. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's episode. So thanks for watching again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.